Ever heard the phrase language shapes thought? This idea comes from the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, also called linguistic relativity. It suggests that the language we speak influences the way we perceive and think about the world. But how true is this? And can something as simple as a color word actually change how we see reality? What is linguistic relativity? Linguistic relativity is the idea that the structure and vocabulary of your language influence how you think, remember, and categorize your experiences. There are two main versions. Strong version, linguistic determinism. If a word doesn't exist in your language, you literally cannot think that concept. Weak version, language influences thought, shaping perception and attention, but does not strictly limit cognition. Most modern research supports the weak version. Language nudges thought rather than constraining it. One of the clearest examples come from color perception. Different languages divide the color spectrum in unique ways. English separates blue and green into distinct categories. Russian divides blue into голубой, light blue, and синий, dark blue. Studies show that Russian speakers can distinguish shades of blue faster and more accurately than English speakers. When asked to identify which color differs from another, Russians are quicker to spot the distinction between голубой and синий, even if the shades are similar to the English speaker. This suggests that language influences perceptual attention. Speakers are more sensitive to distinctions that their language encodes. There's another example, spatial orientation. Some languages like Tzeltal, spoken in Mexico, use cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, instead of relative terms like left and right. Speakers are remarkably good at keeping track of absolute directions in everyday life. There is also number recognition. Languages without exact number words, such as piranha of the Amazon, often show different approaches to counting and memory tasks. Speakers may estimate quantities rather than process exact numbers. Languages that describe time as horizontal, English ahead, behind, versus vertical, Mandarin up for earlier and down for later, subtly influence how speakers visualize temporal sequences. Linguistic relativity doesn't mean that language traps us in a mental cage. Instead, it highlights that the interplay between language, culture, and cognition. Words guide attention, prioritize certain distinctions, and can subtly shape perception. But humans remain capable of learning new concepts, even when their language doesn't have a word for them.